Welcome to Life Hacks Beyond Convention with Dee and Sonia.
I was only thinking yesterday, it's like, well, would I get another animal? And it's just one of those things, isn't it? Actually, when you live on your own, an animal is company.
Yes.
Like, you've got something to think about other than yourself.
Yep. And we tend to talk to them even though they're not human grown-ups.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But
But, yeah.
they're
And
a burden when it comes to you wanting to do any travel, and stuff like that.
that's it, yeah. So it's just like, So I probably wouldn't get an animal, I don't think, because I think I'm just a little bit too much of a wanderlust lover to take on the responsibility of another animal.
Yeah. Perhaps what groups, certainly people that live in groups of homes and stuff like that, need more community-based animals so that there's a little more freedom and,
I sometimes wonder about going to a kind of a retirement village type of situation.
Yep.
That appeals to me a little bit, but most of them are buy-ins.
Yes.
And I need rent.
Yeah.
So, there are some rental ones, but not as many around. And then I wonder, because you've got that bit more of a community thing happening where you can go to the, whatever the community things are.
The corporate body, so to speak.
Well, whether they've got the, I don't know, cards for the afternoon or...
I see what you mean, community activities.
With other people, then I probably wouldn't be looking as much for that interaction with an animal. So and it would probably annoy me if they had community animals. That'd probably just annoy me. So it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially I quite like dogs that I know. But I'm not heaps excited about other people's dogs.
Yep. Yeah.
In my environment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So if I was in a community environment and there's this community dog that thinks it can come up and sniff me, I was like, well, I don't know, I just get a bit piggy about my hands. Yep. I have to go wash my hands straight away.
Yeah, okay.
And, so I wonder whether I'd want that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not that I dislike dogs. It's not that at all.
I think also that there's so many different beliefs about how to care for an animal. I mean, the first risk you'd run with a dog is that it'd get fat within 5 minutes because everybody'd be feeding it.
Well, that's true too. And who's its actual carer? So I guess that would have to be something that would be done at the who is it that owns those villages?
They're corporate bodies,
it'd have to be done at that corporate level, wouldn't it? Because it'd have to be properly trained and whatnot.
Yeah. Someone tried to set up a community that was not retirement so much, but one of those combined communities where people had their own homes, but they shared a lot of garden and stuff like that down at Aldinga years ago. But I don't know whether that actually worked in the end or not. So... I mean, horses are easy because, in my situation, I can adjust my horse, and I currently do, But it has been, when we've travelled, we've had house sitters, and that's changed. House sitting, when we first started using house sitters, you paid them a nightly rate. Now there's groups of grey nomads who will house sit and look after your animals for free power, water, and maybe a dunny and a shower. And where I just my horse, she's been using different groups to do that, and it's been fantastic because it just works.
So she has people come to where the horses are.
And they're just living there. There's enough parking area, and when I went to take a large round bale over the other day, the man came out and helped me with it, and they just kind of carry the care load, and then And she's made really good friends. Like this one couple, particularly, going to be friends for life with them. So, yeah. And
Yeah. Well, I know I've talked to different people that do house sitting, like on a more regular basis. Where, especially with they've got their caravans and whatnot.
Yeah.
One of the girls, we had a teacher, so the girls were involved in a program where they had some classes at the library, the public library.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a travelling teacher. And, she was a house sitter.
Okay.
She actually, that was how she was just saving some money.
Yep.
And was doing house sitting.
Yeah.
To save money. So I thought, and that's quite a long time ago now.
Yeah, you'd have to travel pretty lightly. But yeah, I've heard of others doing it. We had a girl who was had her own horses, so she would come and stay here, and then she moved away, so we couldn't get her anymore. But there's different groups. Some expect to be paid, some don't. I guess you've got to research what your needs are, and so. But yeah, if you, I mean, it's much more expensive to stay in caravan parks with a powered site now too. Like we're talking about the rent crisis and the accommodation crisis. Someone said that they went.
It's hard to find a powered site. Like heaps of them are $50 a night.
Yeah, well,
that's $350 a week.
We used to be able to get them for 20, and now it's 35 for an unpowered.
My age, I remember when we used to get them for 12.
Yeah. So, unpowered site down the southeast, my friend said was 35 a night. And it's like, wow, okay, that's not cheap living. But it's, once again, the whole COVID thing.
Well, somebody I know went to Whyalla last weekend and did some car camping and stayed in the caravan park, had an ensuite site with a car, so that would have looked cheap. But that was $45. So that's not too bad for an on-site. So it was power and ensuite. So she had her own toilet and shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that a week? $3.15 a week. Now, one thing about the grey nomads is that if you're paying for a site, you get a degree of rental assistance depending on. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you'd qualify for a little bit of rent.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know how it works. Yeah, I don't know how it works.
Okay.
But you would
that
get.
makes sense.
Yeah, you would get a degree of rent relief. So.
And that includes all of your power and water.
Yeah. But so if it was $50 a night, it's $3.50 a week, and we were talking about rentals earlier, being it's not necessarily large accommodation, is it? It's just like a box on wheels. So yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I'm constantly surprised at how much it costs to stay in caravan parks these days.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing though that does go with that is the expectations of people using the caravan parks are higher than they were when I used to take the kids camping and whatnot at caravan parks. And the facilities that people expect to be at the caravan parks.
Yes,
much higher quality than it was.
Yeah.
Their camp kitchens, their, you don't call them rumpus rooms.
No,
a room that's
got,
like somewhere that has, sometimes they've got pool tables or table tennis tables or whatever you would call those rooms.
Other facilities,
Yeah, those are other
games rooms.
Facilities. Yeah, games room. That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, games room. And even just the lawned areas and that there's more of them, and they're probably more manicured than they used to be.
Yeah, I think there's. Yeah, and the other thing with caravan park, of course, is the safety. You've got other people close around. If people misbehave, they get kicked out. I remember years ago we were in a caravan park and this old bloke used to get really, really drunk and put a stack of record player with a stack of 7 or 8 LPs on it, and it would just, and he'd pass out, and it was full bore. And I remember waking up and there's these people banging on his door, and my thought was, unplug his caravan. Like, you know, and yeah, so what the managers did was they didn't kick him out because he's a little old man, and so what they did was they put him right next to them, where their house, and then put him in there and sort of managed him from there. But yeah, there's, yeah, more behavioural mitigation going on these days.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, and families that are travelling too, they want better playgrounds and that. And that's what was available when we used to travel. Like, you know, those big air mattress things that they have? Like, they were, back in the day, there was hardly any caravan parks that had something like that. So you could find a caravan park where you were going that had something, the kids would just be like, whoa, it was a real treat. Whereas now that type of facility is expected.
Yes, yeah. Port Broughton had one for the last some years, and they've built a water park in theirs, in their caravan park. And what else have they got? Oh, little hire trikes and things, and lots of other stuff. So the kids are belting around, and So I guess that's why partly is, well, just the cost of running the caravan park's gone up. Yes, and I guess there's competition more so now too, so the prices can afford to go up to cater for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hit the subscribe button below if you want to follow life hacks beyond convention.